Ahoy there, this is Captain Babies coming at you with a video for Eve Echoes. Now, but really, I've just waited a really long time to say that. Major shout out to Captain Benzie, who has done so incredibly much for this game that we all love. So, I'm not really going to take this YouTube thing very seriously. I don't really plan on posting a ton of content. Um, Maybe I'll post about a video a month every time I have something on my mind. But realistically, I have been obsessing a lot lately over one particular topic that I searched and searched for Eve Online, I searched for Eve Echoes, and I found some videos that were close, but just weren't quite what I was looking for. So today I wanted to talk to you about success in Eve Echoes and what that means, what it takes, and how you can have fun and enjoy the game that we all love. So to start, we have to define success, right? A lot of players want to define success in the ISK they have and the kills they've accumulated, that 121 billion Rorqual kill, right? Or the empire that they've built. But ultimately, those achievements aren't quite success. The success that you can look for in Echoes is sustained fun, memories with your friends, and stories to relive later in life. I often joke with my group of friends that hopefully one day I'm in a retirement home and some nurse is giving me my pills and I'm telling her about the 400 Thrasher roam that we took from CJ all the way to wiping the enemy fleet. To me, that would be the ultimate success in the game, where I have memories that last with me 20, 30, maybe even 50 years. And the game is so multifaceted that nearly anyone can find some measure of success in this game. One of the biggest and most important parts of success in this game is finding your tribes. And you'll notice that's plural because I think that this game requires two distinct groups of people for you to enjoy. The first, and probably lesser important, is the larger community whose beliefs that you feel line up with your own and that help create meaningful content that help with your engagement. This can be as big as a couple thousand players. I mean, we've seen how large the alliances get in EVE Online, 30,000 of your best friends, all the way down to just 10 pilots that you enjoy flying with and can take a night and have some fun. This group, ultimately, the goal is to find some meaning in it, a sense of purpose, and some sense of usefulness. We'll talk more about that later, but being useful in the game goes a long way towards feeling successful. The second group's a much smaller group of players that you enjoy regularly playing with and talking to. This can be anywhere from one player all the way up to 10, 20 players. The importance of this group is to keep you engaged daily, whether you're talking ships, fits, ISK making, home life, personal aspirations, or venting about a rough day at the job. The goal of this group is to keep you interested, keep you setting goals, help fight burnout. The group will be there for when you're feeling less engaged or when you're upset over a ship you lost. They'll have your back and they'll make sure that you always have something to be working towards, whether it's your own goal or theirs. The next big thing is meaning and purpose. You have to find some sense of meaning or purpose in the game or you won't last long. Many players who I think burn out just struggle with finding meaningful things to do that provide value either to themselves or to other players. Here's where you start talking about setting different goals in the game. You can want to be the most veteran PvP pilot who strikes the fear into the hearts of alliances when you enter systems like Vetamoon. You can want to build the biggest empire and stand the test of time, or you could want to be the bad guy. This is something that I think is highly underrated in the game. I personally am a giant Care Bear who only exists to further other people's goals in the game, but ultimately, look at how many dark days Goonswarm Federation carried EVE Online through by just being a force that the entire server could rally against. These great villains that the whole game wants to see dethroned provide a sense of community purpose. They provide a sense of community togetherness. People like Sun Banana and Momosaurus Rex, for all the hate that they may have received, they provided some of the best content that EVE Echoes has ever had. You can even just want to obtain a ship and perfect it. I often get jealous because I tend to be a little whimsical. I'll spec into a ship, I'll put some time into it, and then ultimately the next thing that comes along, I'll respec out of it. Those people who sit and play test and perfect and play with rigs and change setups for one single ship, I'll never understand how they can do it. But ultimately, they are some of the people that I find have the most fun in the game. Whether that ship is absolutely optimal or if it is just something that they truly, truly love. Having something to log in for, having something that drives the grind for you is ultimately going to keep you in the game longer. The content provided by the devs isn't exactly the most engaging content. Ratting is fairly brainless, mining is fairly brainless. Some of the newer content, some of the Nihilist Dead Space content, they can be a challenge, but the things you'll be engaged with most of your time in Echoes aren't exciting. So these goals, these purposes, these have to give you the reason to chase that next piece of ISK so that you can feel that you have something to look forward to. You can help derive some meaning from your tribe, both the greater and smaller tribe. When I find myself bored, I'll often pick a person who I respect. Usually I'll look for someone who's shown a lot of empathy or kindness to other players lately. And I'll grab my group of friends and we'll kick off a ship build or a rig build for this person because I derive a sense of meaning from helping these people achieve their goals. I've built several dreadnoughts, Rorqual parts, anything down to a set of integrated rigs for a Macarial pilot who wants to fly a blinged out angel ship. And all of these times, that's where I feel most engaged in the game. Goals are the big one. It really ties heavily with everything else here. They can be as small as upgrade a slot on your build to a C-type or a B-type, or as large as I want to take down an entire alliance. But the important part is to keep a steady stream of them. Write them down. We Echoes players are known for being wishy-washy. We're known for short memories. Put your goals to paper. Help solidify them so you have a reference point to look back on later. Maybe include some notes as to why the goal was important to you at the time. And don't just settle for one goal. Keep short-term goals, just 1 to 4 week goals. Keep some medium-term goals, something that lasts maybe a month to 3. And keep long-term goals, 3+ months or more. Echoes is going to be a very, very long game, and those that plan for that length of time will have a better experience. A great number of people say Echoes is a game about war, a game about PvP. And that's pretty close to right, but I often think that definition is a bit simple and falls short. So I'd like to simplify it even more and try to use that to make more sense from this. Echoes is a game about a cycle, and like it or not, that cycle's integral to your enjoyment of the game. The cycle is to be excited, to build something, to enjoy it, lose it, and rebuild. A lot of players probably prefer to stop at steps 2, but 3 to 4 really are the only thing that are going to keep you engaged in the game long term. Without loss, there's a lessened sense of excitement. You stagnate, enjoying the fruits of your labors, and have nothing left to chase. So fly ships and fly them with the intent to one day lose them so you can start this all again. I think we've all seen exactly how much fun Matty Huh has in game. Pilot most likely famous for all the large kill mails that other people get on him. And it is truly because Matty has recognized that the cycle of death and rebirth of a ship is an important key part of the game. So where does this all go? I mean, essentially, I'm trying to help you understand what it takes to be successful in Echoes, to be a long-term player, and to be someone that walks out of this game with memories that'll last a lifetime. These were all really simple points, and maybe one day I'll go a little more in depth on each one. But remember, we've been given a sandbox. The sandbox has nearly infinite number of possibilities. Ship balance, the next gotcha mechanic from NetEase, none of these things truly control your enjoyment of this game. The only thing that controls your enjoyment of the game is you. I'd like to thank all of you for coming to my TED Talk. I apologize about the quality of the audio. Like I said, I'm not really taking this too seriously. I'm just a guy with a pair of AirPods recording some thoughts on what I think is really important in this game. And ultimately, everyone's going to measure their success differently. It's just important that you really think about how you define it and what you're looking for in this game. I'd like to thank all of the content creators for everything they do for our game. Everyone from the YouTube content creators down to the guy who was bored and drunk on a Saturday night and picked up a PvP fleet and took it 35 jumps over only to get wiped in 10 minutes. Everything that you do is what helps shape the story of Eve Echoes and helps shape the memories of the players that are here. Gameplay is completely unrelated. I just figured, staring at a black screen for 20 minutes of me talking would probably be fairly boring. So, fly safe, fly aggressive, lose ships, and enjoy that glorious cycle because all ships were born to die.